What's up YouTube, it's Young Men's Daily Red Pill, back with another upload. I appreciate you guys clicking on my video, liking my content, sharing my content, and just working on self-improvement every day. As I always say on this channel, the earlier you take the red pill, the better off you are. My goal is to help you self-actualize, become the greatest version of yourself, and just educate you on what the red pill is. So I like switching up my content. As a lot of you guys know, I use a whiteboard in a few of my videos, and I like to kind of just switch things up, kind of just add my own twist and my own flavor to the red pill community. Not just like recycling the same old terminology in the same videos. Even though there's really great videos out there, I want to be able to create my own little niche within this manosphere. So that's why I incorporate the whiteboard and different other things that I do that are different than other red pill content creators, because I'm trying to basically carve out my own little niche within this community. And today's video is going to be actually no different than that. As a lot of you guys know, I was on CoachGregAdams' channel and he had me as a guest. Shout out to the Coach Gang. But I will be reacting to my live stream with CoachGregAdams. So you guys will get my live reaction to it. And I'll basically be able to go over some of the things that I felt like I didn't really get my point across necessarily when he was interviewing me and we were going back and forth, just because of the time constraints and everything like that. So I want to share with you guys what my real answers would have been now that I've had time to actually calm down. I was really nervous on the live stream for no reason. It was my first actual time being on a live stream. So I want to just share with you guys my actual thoughts and perspectives and answer his questions to the best of my abilities now that I've taken time to just calm down and have my nerves settled. All right, we're going to take a look at it, guys. Be sure to drop a like, share this video if you enjoy. All right, guys, let's check out this live stream. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, so when I did the live stream, I was pretty nervous. This is my first actual live stream. So what I wanted to do with this video here was basically give you guys the correct answers to his questions, like the more surmised answers, because I ended up just going on and talking about a lot of things that ended up limiting our time on our live stream. So I wanted to basically clarify some things that I maybe left out, and basically I ended up not answering some of his questions because I was so just trying to train my thoughts in my head and trying to gather information in my head that I was just overwhelmed, you know. So we're going to check it out. We're going to listen to what I say and then what he says, and then I'm going to give you what the answer that I would have said now looking back.
We're going to invite our guest in right here. Let's get in here. Let me see if I can add him to the stream. There he is, man. What's going on, everybody, man? Tell them your name and what your channel is.
What's up, everyone? My name is Young Men's Daily Red Pill, and my goal on my channel is basically to help guys take the red pill as early as possible and just self-improvement stuff. Helping young guys that have gone through similar situations that I've gone through.
All right, brother, man. I appreciate you for being here. And like I said, I can't.
So at this point, I was already nervous. You can see the energy. I moved the camera. I think I tried to adjust it right here while he's about to speak, which is a no-go. I was just putting off a little bit of nervous energy. This is why my answers were kind of off.
On your video, and I like to see younger guys doing this content, especially that have gone through some things and they can recognize the situation earlier. The video that I saw was the 80-20 becoming the 90-10 rule. All right. And I'm going to have you explain that. But let me first ask you. All
right. And shout out to CoachGregAdams also for putting me on his show, obviously, and watching my 80-20 turn to 90-10 rule. I really do appreciate that. That video has done so well for my channel. It's helped me grow tremendously. So I do appreciate him acknowledging that.
What guided you to red pill content and creating content?
Yeah, so I was basically the biggest simp ever, and it all started, I feel like, when my parents divorced at 5, and then I transitioned, so just living with my single mother, and I was instantly just put into a Christian school. She found God, so
she found God after the fact.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I went to a Christian school, and I was going to Wednesday nights, Sunday church service, and helping out around the church, you know, doing the whole God thing. And this is basically where I became programmed and indoctrinated to really become a simp, it felt like. And I didn't learn this.
So Sunday school, being there, being around a Christian environment all the time, it turned me into a really beta nice guy, because when you're taught in the church is to basically turn the other cheek and to forgive no matter what. But basically, I ended up giving him the long answer. What he was looking for was more so what was my recent experience that made me take the red pill, and that was dating a girl that basically worked at a restaurant in the same parking lot as me. I actually got her that job. She didn't have a car. She didn't have a job, and I supported her. She had a place to stay with me, and she cheated on me behind my back with my teammate that was the bartender at that restaurant, and it was just in plain sight. It was ridiculous. And that was when I truly decided to take the red pill at that moment. And that was when I was like, I'm going my own way. I'm not going to deal with these females anymore, because that's the second time in my life that I've had a teammate do something like that behind my back, and a female do that behind my back. So I'm just like, listen, I'm done being the nice guy. I had to fully take the red pill at that moment. I was tired of getting taken advantage of. There's so many other stories. So the issue here was I was just basically giving my whole spiel of my life story instead of just the short answer, which is how I took the red pill in order to recently become red pill aware.
To a Christian school, I went there from kindergarten to 8th grade. And then from then on, I went to a public high school right after that, a big public high school in my area. And what happened was I had none of this knowledge of women. I had this one picture of women in my head, that women were basically sugar and spice, everything nice, and that they could never do any wrong, and that God forgives, He'll redeem them. If you stick around long enough, she'll come around, and God has a plan for everyone that's in your life. So I was just told, like, listen, women, even if they've had a past, they can be redeemed. And she is like what Jesus said, because we were taught in the church, like Jesus said, turn the other cheek, and to basically
overlook that
stuff. Yeah, exactly. And no matter what her past was, you're supposed to overlook it. So what happened was I ended up going to this public high school, and I get completely taken advantage of. And
so at this point, I'm pretty nervous already.
My first red pill experience was I was like a freshman.
I was so nervous,
Valentine's Day, and we did like a Valentine's Day.
I was going into my whole life story about
guys could like write a Valentine's Day to girls, and like it's such a sim moment, and it would be sent out. So what I did, I got up early. I was all dressed nice, have a little bow tie on, shirt tucked in, and I went to this chick's locker that I really liked. Got her a combination from her sister. Went in. Had my little gram ready for her, and I wrote a note. I said, listen, stay here at lunch, at break. I'm going to come by. I'm going to surprise you. Basically, I told her to hang out. And what happened was she ended up just not even showing up. I was there with the flowers, whole bouquet of flowers, and I was like dressed to the nines. I thought I was like sharp. I thought she was going to really appreciate it. And her sister ends up just coming over, taking the flowers from me, and I never see this girl. Like, she literally just like rejected me. And it was in front of like so many people. I was just standing there for hours with these flowers, just waiting for her. And it was crazy.
Most of the time they'll hide that, like they'll tell her, hey, disappear, we'll hold them off. This guy's here with flowers.
So here I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm nervous. So I'm like reading the comments. I kept rambling on here. It's ridiculous.
All that stuff. And
that's why I'm here redoing this reaction. So
and protect them. So you're seeing this information early. Like, what age range are you in now today?
I'm 22.
22 years old. All right. So a lot of young guys are doing these channels. And I like it that what happens is when I'm so wrapped up in my content, I don't see the younger guys coming up. All right. And a lot of content creators, when they get past.
Hey, yeah. Shout out to the coach, man. He has 6 channels. I just recently discovered like his 5th and 6th one. It's crazy, man. The amount of content that Coach Adams puts out on a weekly basis is absolutely insane. And if you check out his Free Agent Lifestyle channel, he literally breaks down how he batch films every video 2 days out of the week or 3 days out of the week and edits. And then he has like 4 days off or 3 days off or something like that. But the amount of work that he puts in, the amount of technological skills, editing skills is off the charts. It's really just inspiring to see. There's a lot of content creators out there that upload every single day, and it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work.
70,000.
Salute.
They still think they're on top, but there's a lot of young lions that are doing this content that are telling relevant stories about their experiences. So you're seeing right now, because you're in the field, you've never been married, right? You don't have any kids, no side kids. All right. So you didn't get involved in the marriage. You just had situations with younger women. Now with younger women your age, because I always tell guys, get them when they're 18 to 24. These are the women in your age. What do you see going on in the field with these younger women as a young man? What do you see with these younger women? How do you deal with them?
These younger women are just 304s, like you were saying earlier. I think you were trying to say that.
Yeah, I think I was trying to say that.
Hey, they're out here. Like, My freshman year experience, because I went to, so I've been to 3 different.
All right, so then I get into the whole spiel again about my story. So I'm going to skip past this just a little bit, just because I continue to go on. It's nervous talking. Basically, though, yeah, the girls my age, obviously 304s, little thoughts. For the most part, I'd say 90%, 95% of them are. But yeah, he asked some really great questions here. It's just I was nervous and I kept rambling and rambling.
College I've been to, these girls are off the charts. Just the things that they do. I've seen this girl. Okay, I'll give a story right here.
Yeah.
My first real experience with like taking the red pill was this girl that basically went to my girlfriend at the times. She lived with her. She ended up heading over to her house and they were kicking it. And I came over, slid through, and basically we had like a little kickback. And this girl, the entire time, was just trying to lose her virginity because she felt like, okay, it's college. I'm going to try to lose my virginity.
That's a crazy story. I'll share with you guys.
I'm a freshman.
I will eventually get to that story.
She literally, by the end of the night, had been through like 3 guys. And then like
in the
morning and after. Oh, yeah. Easily.
Right.
And like everyone's...
Yeah, guys, that's a crazy story. This girl literally had a train ran on her at night. So we're talking about before the party, during the party, and then after the party, and then in the morning. All right, and I can't make this up. Her first sexual experience, because she wanted to be out here, she literally had 4 guys in one night just to lose her virginity.
What was going on? So it was funny. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy.
So they're doing this. I mean, I've worked on colleges and I've seen the same thing, that these women, they will do that first 2 weeks of campus. They're running through a massive amount of men. And these are things that we need to know. Will be helpful, because once you get to about 28, you're thinking you're getting the prize, and you're not. You're getting somebody that's been used and abused. And this is what college is.
Facts. That's the issue. A lot of men think that these young girls aren't out here too, but they're out here, trust me. And a lot of you guys that are on my channel, maybe that are younger than me or that are my age, you know what's up. You know that these girls are out here too. So it's like, you just really can't tell. Like, you can kind of tell now because it's easier than before, because they're more promiscuous and outwardly promiscuous. You might see her Instagram or whatever she posts on Snapchat, and you'd be like, all right, yeah, she's a 304. But it's really difficult to tell because there's such few really good quality women left, especially even at my age.
So let's talk about this 80-20 rule. Let's explain it. Let's see what you see now as a young guy thinking about what the 80-20 rule is and how it's becoming the 90-10 rule.
So I just see that 80% of women usually just carry debt, or they're out of shape,
kids,
or they have some type of mental issues, actually. Okay. And especially at my age, just because of their high body counts and just the choices, the decisions they made, because of like maybe the way they've been just brought up in the single motherhood. A lot of
narcissistic, multiple personality disorder, daddy issues, all of that is included within females in my age range and up.
Men are hooking up with these women at the last minute, like at clubs, at the dating scene, wherever it is, just because they're available, just because that's the last, like the slim pickings, you know, they're the leftovers at the club or whatever. But then these women think that they're the prize, which is the whole issue. These women think that they can always land this 20% guy, this 10% guy, and especially now so because of this whole recession and everything that's going on, they're going to be really looking for men with resources, because that well-paying job in the past isn't going to be able to keep her satisfied, keep her feeling secure, you know? A lot of men are just not going to live up to her standards, because on top of wealth, you have to have a certain look to you, you have to be a certain height. There's so many requirements.
Right, but do you hear I mean, because
they're so picky. My age, it's ridiculous. It really is. It's the standards and the quality of guys that they want you to already be a certain type of way because of Instagram and social media. They see these guys out here with large followings, with making a lot of money, that 1% male, and then they expect all the other men in their lives to live up to that standard, to basically be that type of man.
Their age, they're not talking about being strong and independent. This is probably an idea in their head, but right now they have the advantage. They look a certain way, so they think they can get type 10 men. Do you see women that are 7s and 8s or 6s and 5s? Do they have the same thing and approach as the women who are the hotties?
I feel like the women hotties are more insecure. That's just me personally. I just feel like they're
approach wise. So the hot ones, they're easier to approach, but I feel like the more the 7s and the 6s, they're more entitled. They're usually like, they have some type of attitude about them. Not saying that the hot ones don't either, because they do, especially if they're used to being complimented all the time and they're really stuck up. But yeah, so they do kind of have a different approach. I'd say the more forward ones are the 6s and 7s and the 5s, but like, I think that's what he was trying to ask basically.
They're more insecure. It's the women that are the most entitled women are the bigger ones, the ones that are just like the 6s, 7s, and 8s. They feel like they're running the entire. They feel like they're running
the show.
Exactly.
Okay, man. Okay, so in this age group, are they using dating apps? Because I have an opinion. Like, if you're a younger woman and you're on a dating app, you're looking not to get plowed. You're looking for a resource guy.
Oh yeah.
Right? There's no reason why you're 18, 19, 20, 21 to be on a dating app.
No, they're looking to get plowed. I forgot to say that. I think I misheard what he said. They're looking to get plowed too, by that 1% male. And they go out and they swipe enough times and they eventually find that 1% male, which leaves 99% of guys out of just getting some peace leave, you know? So I think I just misread what he said.
And you guys listening to me right now, they can get guys at the gas station, all right? So are they using dating apps?
They want it all though. They want a gas station, they want online.
Oh, I used to use dating apps, so yeah. The ones that I've seen, so definitely.
Okay, but when you meet up with them, what's the expectation of a woman who's 24 and you meet up with a guy that's 22? Are they expecting you to pay for dates? What are they looking for?
Yeah, so they're expecting you to pay for dates. They're expecting you to already have life figured out. They're expecting to already just rush into a bunch of things because they've already given away themselves, you know? So it's like they've already given themselves away. Now they're already at an early age, like 24, they're already looking to find that one guy when literally in high school, before high school, damn, in like middle school, they've already been giving themselves away. So.
They were out thoughting it up in high school, so they're already, at my age, starting to look for that beta male provider. And they don't even really want to settle down necessarily. They want that resource because they don't want to work. That's really what it comes down to. They don't want to put in that work that a man has to, you know? That's really what I've noticed, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, and you're looking at potentially women that were in high school 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? From your high school days, I want you to think back here. Now, I know it seemed like a long time ago, but from your high school days, when I always talk about women between the ages of 16, and sometimes I'll say as low as 15, they giving away that peace league. All right.
14, 13.
As 5 years ago, have you seen that actually happen, or is that something that we're making up?
Oh, I've seen it happen all the time. Yeah, especially in high school.
I knew this one girl my freshman year that I had a crush on, and this girl she must have been, when we started high school, I was probably 13 years old-ish, maybe turning 14 my freshman year. I really liked her, and there was this dude named Jay, and basically she ended up hooking up with this guy, and he was like a senior. It was crazy, man, and the whole school knew about it. She was a thought though, literally. She was a 304, and she basically she would get fingered and stuff on campus and in front of people. It was crazy, man. That was just one of a whole bunch of stories I have, but I wasn't able to think of that in this moment when he asked me.
I played basketball, so
right.
That was exactly why. I mean,
you look like Klay Thompson. Somebody said.
I get that. So what happens is, just being on the basketball team, that will red pill you in itself. I've seen just the trainers, the assistant managers doing some crazy things that I can't even.
That's true. Also, my freshman year, even my sophomore year, the trainers that are on the basketball team, the trainers that work in the athletic department, they're really out here. And Coach Greg adds some important key things here because I know he was a coach at, I think, San Diego State. So he knows what's up. We're actually kind of not too far apart from each other. I'm in the Bay, and he has some really good points right here.
Talk about, because I do have family that now watches this channel, so it's like I wish I didn't discover it already, but there's so many different stories where I could just go on and on about the different types of peace league they're throwing around, literally.
Okay.
At an early age.
What you're talking about is the girls who were mixing the Gatorade, they were hanging around the team, they were the equipment manager, they did the videotaping. Listen, I coach, so I remember these girls would come up and listen. In the college days, these women are available to not only the players, to the coaches too. just to be honest with you. So you saw this going on. And would you say it was the majority of the girls, or were they just getting started off? Just a small percentage of them?
There were a few that had already been completely turned out. But
they already turned out at 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yes. And then there was that, like what I explained in the girl I went to college that was a virgin. There was girls that were just getting started out. And then now they already have kids. They're already full circle.
So a guy your age, you're 22.
I've seen girls just lose their virginity at 13, 14, 15. At least the high school I went to, at least the girls that I knew in this area. I live more in the Bay Area, kind of in California, so it might be different out here, but girls are really getting turned out at an early age. I don't know what it's like wherever you guys are from, but it just seems like this is like becoming a trend where girls I mean, it's been going on since the rise of feminism and sexual liberation, but girls are really just starting to throw it around like it's nothing at an early age. They're already getting started.
You're probably just getting out of college and getting into your life and trying to figure out your life. If you were looking at it and saying, okay, the women between 18 and 24 who have the advantage, what percentage of them would you say would be that virtuous woman that knows that it's probably a good time to cash in, or that are waiting to just ride the wave and stay on the carousel and do it later, but they've been ran through? I mean, what type of quality woman would you have in your age group?
It's really hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. I dated a chameleon. That was what really red-pilled me. And she was a Christian girl. Her mom was a principal at a Christian school. And that really red-pilled me to religion too. So there was a whole bunch of different things. But I would say maybe 1% to 5%, if that. And honestly, it's probably that are good. And then I think
5%. Damn.
Yeah.
So I actually did a video. I said 90% of them are no good, and you're dealing with 5%. So you're saying only.
The thing is, you really can't tell. Like when I first got to my college campus, there were so many girls that used to say like, "Oh, I'm a Christian," and they were like leading the Christian worship and all these different Christian events on campus, this and that. And you would think like these girls are godly and they didn't have a past to them. They all had a past to them. They all had some type of some thoughty past that they were hiding from us and hiding from the whole community, the whole university to know about, because now they were redeemed, like I was talking about. And the old sent me used to always take them back and think like, I can, it's okay that she had this past, now she's a changed woman, I can change her, everyone has a chance to redeem themselves, because that's what the Bible teaches, and that just really was the beta in me, like believing that these women, they're so good at putting on that chameleon front where they've given themselves away before you meet them, but you'll never know about that past.
5% of women in your age group, they're ready. They haven't been ran through. They aren't narcissists. They're not entitled. They haven't been indoctrinated with feminism. You're giving it that low.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So that'll rep to you right there. So you're 22, and to be honest with you, when I was your age, I had the same thing. I was like, you know what? Marriage isn't the deal. Now, it wasn't until I was 28 that I said, well, maybe I'll give it a shot. All right. And it was later in my life. I had a younger girl that was with me, and I gave it a shot. Didn't work out for me. All right. But that's not to say it wouldn't work out for anybody else. But for guys that are looking at this time, because this time's different than when I was younger. Right now, there's more expected of you. You're saying 90% of the women are going to go just for a smaller group of men going forward with this whole epidemic.
Yeah, because of social media.
Absolutely. When you have OnlyFans and Snapchat premiums,
yes,
where these girls can make money at a rate much higher than any guys my age that I know, even the ones that are doing like day trading, you can't even compete at this point. So
that's true, because if you think about it, what it used to be like was men used to be making all the money. Men used to be bringing home all the resources, and they would be making more money than the female. But now that we have females making more money by showing some more skin, more females going to college, this and that, now they feel like they're entitled, they don't need men, and this is the whole issue that we're facing. But then they still want to get married, and they still don't want us to go our own way, and they have attitude, and they have really bad attitudes. That's really like, so it's just really difficult dating at my age, to be honest. And guys my age will tell you that, like, to have a long-term committed relationship with a girl that hasn't been ran through is very hard. It's difficult to find that one.
even if you're making the same amount of money she is, she has all the advantages right now. And she knows this, and she uses it, and she gives a little bit of her actual like dignity away in order for this money right now, not thinking that it's going to affect her in the long run.
Woo! Wait till 5G comes out. She is not going to be happy about that when she's walking down the street and all her videos and pictures are going to be shown to the public. I'm telling you guys, people aren't thinking right now about what they post online on OnlyFans and Snapchat premiums for a quick subscription each month or a quick little payment, and then one day we have 5G and everything's exposed in front of everyone for the public eye. It's going to be all bad. I'm telling you guys.
Right. Okay. Because they don't see that the marital rate is plummeting. They don't see that men are committing less to relationships. In their mind, they're like, hey, I still got it, so I'm going to find one of these guys. That's not happening anymore.
No, not at all.
All right.
They're not thinking about the long term.
They're not thinking about the long term. Yeah, in my days, we didn't have Snapchat and we didn't have, the premium apps and the OnlyFans and the seeking arrangements. Have you found any girls that you might have thought were being on seeking arrangements or something like that, taking dates with older men? Have you seen that? Have you seen that yet?
I had it happen to me.
You had it happen to me. Okay, tell me what's up with that.
So my ex, the one that
crazy.
Actually, this is crazy. That girl. So my first girlfriend in high school, I don't know what she's doing now, but for sure, the one that red pilled.
She's a stripper. Last time I heard about her.
The one that came from a Christian family, the last one I gave a shot to before I was just running through. This was where I discovered she was doing this OnlyFans before OnlyFans was really that big. And I thought she would tell me she was just talking to older guys and getting paid. And I thought that was weird. So she lied to me basically and was just saying, I'm just sending pictures of like my feet, or I'm just taking pictures and like talking to these guys. I'm not really showing anything. And then came
She was doing this when we lived together, guys. Under the roof of my house, literally. I couldn't even tell that she was doing these things. This woman would sleep next to me at night and was having an OnlyFans account. And this was before really OnlyFans was as big as it is now. And she was just talking to older men and sending pictures of her feet. And my little simp self, I thought that was okay because she wasn't sending nudes or anything. And she tried to get me, she started to move on to like lingerie, and she was trying to push me and like get me to approve her showing more skin and showing more lingerie. And she was like, oh, I'll give you some of the money. Guys, these women are doing these kind of stuff under your nose without you knowing, without you even realizing it. And this ex is also selling her body off now. She's a stripper.
The premium Snapchat, and then by that point I was already done, but I discovered all these different things later on.
So this was a girl, a church-going, Christian-raised girl that was on OnlyFans early on, supposedly sending pictures of just her feet to older men and fans. This
happens, guys.
This is a Christian-raised girl who went through a Christian school. This is doing this. What percentage of women do you think that now, since the barbarians hit the gate, what percentage of women that you think in your age group could be doing something like this?
Could be 70%.
70%.
Might be higher. You can't tell. It's crazy.
So,
the innocent looking ones, the ones that you would least expect, have a Snapchat premium, have an OnlyFans, have a seeking arrangements. You do not know. You're unable to tell. It almost seems like the more innocent they look, the more nasty they are behind closed doors.
And so I guess you're saying the women that, like the Christian girl was doing it, you would look at the so-called 304, you would think she would be doing it and the Christian girls wouldn't. But you're saying there's a mix-up right now. You can't tell the hoes from the housewife.
No, you can't.
You can't tell the hoes from the housewife. Boy,
nope.
Listen, man.
Correction, you kind of can. Now that I look back and I'm listening to what I'm saying, you can kind of tell. But with all of them, like, there's so many different girls that are good at hiding things and like chameleon themselves. Thank God for social media because it does expose them more. But there are that few select group of women that are still really good at hiding this and hiding their thought.
In my time, listen, women been hoeing since forever, all right? So it's not like they are just doing it. But right now, feminism has incentivized them to do it, right? And they get a pass. I'm gonna talk about that later. They get a pass for doing it and say, oh, I was just younger. but they don't realize that their value is going to decrease. So as a man, let's say you're giving guidance to women. Let's just say they're open to your channel. And I saw your channel over the weekend go from 5,000 to 7,000 subs. You're like one of those blowing up guys. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys for getting me there, man. If you're new to the channel, man, I appreciate every single last one of you guys, because we wouldn't have been able to reach that milestone without you guys sharing my videos, liking my videos, and always creating engagement for the YouTube algorithm. I really do appreciate that.